Team KD in this one, to go to the question of whose side of this beef am I on. Team KD, because if you read the interview, which is excellent, Tyler Tynes, the writer, he didn't ask Scottie about Kevin Durant.
Sure didn't.
Scottie brought him up unprompted, took shots, and took inaccurate shots. Like Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, incredible basketball player, knows more about the game than I will ever know, but he is dead wrong about this. Kevin Durant played his butt off, and the notion that he didn't play team basketball is ridiculous. Scottie, what team? Who was he supposed to give the ball to? One-legged James Harden? Ice-cold Joe Harris? Bruce Brown?
Work out these feelings, man.
Yeah.
Work out these
Go
feelings.
through it.
I was there with you.
Bruce Brown?
I'm right.
Like, Kevin Durant was literally the only star that the Nets had left. There was nothing else he could do. And by the way, he also brought in LeBron. Oh, LeBron doesn't take that shot. I'm old enough to remember when LeBron got killed for passing to Danny Green that one time. Like, we can't have it both ways.
Well,
criticize stars for not taking shots, but also not being team players. Point is, Kevin Durant had an incredible postseason. Scottie Pippen is wrong, and Mr. Teabags, thank you for the content.
Kevin Durant has had an incredible posting season. Like, what he is doing on Twitter right now is unbelievable. And so, yes, is there a level of this conversation where we hold everybody to their various hypocrisies about basketball? Sure, and Mina laid out a bunch of stuff that I agree with fundamentally. But what I want to focus on is the fact that Scottie Pippen, perhaps like clearly thirsting for a spotlight that Michael Jordan tilted firmly in his direction, was drinking his own bourbon and giving interviews. And if there's any better circumstance for Tyler Tynes, GQ writer, than that specific one, I don't know what it is. Because the one thing I want, if I'm doing an interview with an athlete, is them imbibing to some degree that I will remain unclear on beyond that, because who knows how much or how little he was.
Oy.
But the other thing I absolutely do not want to answer this question is Kevin Durant coming at me on Twitter. So I'm on Team KD for that reason alone. So yes, please and thank you.
I mean, my biggest takeaway about the quality or the effects of this bourbon based on this interview is that it apparently turns you into the comment section of a First Take YouTube video. Go,
That's most bourbons.
Go forth.
I think.
Is Scottie Pippen right? Is there room for criticism of the way Kevin Durant tried to win that series against Milwaukee?
No way. The only criticism you can have for Kevin Durant is that he didn't lift that team basically by himself to the next round. He was an outstanding performer in that series, and he dazzled us. And regardless of who wins the championship this year, Kevin Durant for this year's playoffs will be the people's champ because he reestablished himself as the unstoppable force as an offensive weapon in the NBA. But for Scottie Pippen, to be honest with you guys, as somebody that grew up watching Scottie, I've always felt bad at his portrayal. Anytime he was called Robin, that was always a diss. He's one of the most disrespected great players in the history of the NBA. And it culminated himself to me when The Last Dance came out and a new era of fans got a chance to see that he was a great player, but he doesn't get the respect, the all-time respect that he deserves.
That's right. He has a book coming out this fall in which he's going to address all that, and we'll see what it is he says. But Big Perk, let me come to you on the previous thing that Jalen says, which is, did KD, your former teammate, did he actually earn more respect in defeat with the way he played in this postseason than anything he's done since he was in Oklahoma City?
You know what, Greeny, is close, because I remember when KD won the MVP, when Russell Westbrook was out, we saw Kevin Durant move to the point forward. And see, what happened is that when he joined the Warriors, we wasn't able to see Kevin Durant dominate the ball. And when he got on this super team with James Harden and Kyrie Irving, we wasn't able to see the best out of Kevin Durant because he had to share the ball. But when James Harden and Kyrie Irving went out, then we were able to see what Kevin Durant could bring to the table. We saw his ability to facilitate for others. We saw how he was able to get down there and rebound in the trenches. We saw how he was able to anchor the defense. So, again, I saw him in Oklahoma City when he won the MVP, but I will say this. This series, although he lost, he erased 8 years of narratives about himself. I was proud the way that Kevin Durant handled this series against the Milwaukee Bucks.
I agree with that. In the meantime, Jalen and Big Perk, you're both in LA. You both think you're doing so well. You're having such a good time. No one's living their best life. Well, guess what? I want you to see what Magic Johnson is doing right now. This is Magic Johnson lifting weights on a yacht in Greece. Jalen, your reaction.
So Chris Rock once said it. Big Perk and I are rich, but the person that writes our check is wealthy. That's what a billionaire looks like, Greedy. Like, Magic Johnson is the only person I know that takes vacations for weeks. Like, do you know how much that yacht costs? I guarantee you that yacht costs $5 million a day. A day. And he's going to be on there like 30 straight days. I love Magic so very much.
He's on there with Samuel. Go ahead, Perk.
You know what, Green and J. Rose? I'm just jealous because I saw this last year and I watched him go on this 3-month vacation where he traveled the seas and stopped at different destinations. You know what I said? This is motivation for me. I got to get myself together.
Not only that, do you bring weightlifting gloves on a vacation? I don't know. I mean, it's a fascinating thing that he's got working there. If I'm ever fortunate enough to be on that yacht in Greece, I'm telling you right now, I'm leaving the weightlifting gloves at home. We have beef between two legends. What do you think?
Hey, you know I love some beef, especially on Twitter and social media. If you got beef, green ear legs, let's make some hamburgers, goddammit. And look, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? It just goes to show me, and this is no disrespect to Scottie Pippen. He's the top 50 greatest player of all time in my eyes. But when you say things to that nature about the series against the Milwaukee Bucks, it goes to show me one thing, that you actually didn't watch the game of basketball. Kevin Durant had to take over the game. You know why? Because Joe Harris couldn't buy a bucket. Bruce Brown, he was on the floor with, couldn't make floaters late in the game. So he had to go down swinging. It wasn't that he wasn't trying to make the right play, but when he did make the right play, the others didn't deliver. And look, Kevin Durant would never be LeBron James. LeBron James would never be Kevin Durant. And guess what? We will never see another Kevin Durant ever again in the history of basketball, and we will never see another LeBron James again in the history of basketball. So there it is.
I think that's right. And Legs, again, for the audience just joining us, I wanted your perspective on that. Is there room for criticism of the way Kevin Durant went about trying to win that series?
Not in that situation, no. And Perk alluded to it. Look, you look at the way that series played out. Who did Kevin Durant expect to be out there with him? A healthy James Harden. He didn't have that. James Harden couldn't go by anybody. In fact, on that last possession, he actually gave the ball to James Harden as they were crossing half court and then realized, I got to go get it back. See, think about the burden on his shoulders. He couldn't even trust another superstar in that moment because James Harden was limited physically. Kyrie Irving's over there in street clothes. Joe Harris struggled the entire series to make shots. Yeah, and then the rest of those guys are all role players. So Kevin Durant read the room. And the room said, go try to be superhuman and win this yourself because you're one of the best one-on-one and isolation players in this league. And nothing was done easy for him. You know, he didn't get any opportunities off the ball to catch it and get something easy in those moments. It was all going to be live dribble, one-on-one against some of the best defensive players in the league. PJ Tucker, situation, no. And
the audience just joining us, I wanted your... I think that's right. And Legs, again, for the audience just joining us, I wanted your perspective on that. Is there room for criticism of the way Kevin Durant went about trying to win that series?
Not in that situation, no. And Perk alluded to it. Look, you look at the way that series played out. Who did Kevin Durant expect to be out there with him? A healthy James Harden. He didn't have that. James Harden couldn't go by anybody. In fact, on that last possession, he actually gave the ball to James Harden as they were crossing half court and then realized, I got to go get it back. See, think about the burden on his shoulders. He couldn't even trust another superstar in that moment because James Harden was limited physically. Kyrie Irving's over there in street clothes. Joe Harris struggled the entire series to make shots. Yeah, and then the rest of those guys are all role players. So Kevin Durant read the room. And the room said, go try to be superhuman and win this yourself because you're one of the best one-on-one and isolation players in this league. and nothing was done easy for him. You know, he didn't get any opportunities off the ball to catch it and get something easy in those.
Rolling.
Prepare for battle.
Tiny coming in. Right away. Rock on. I gather no loss. Rolling out. Sure.
30 seconds to battle.
Of course. You got it. A rolling stone. Head for the quarry. Yes.
The battle begins.
Going. The road ahead looks rocky, but that's all right with me. Forward. Of course. Tiny coming in. A rolling stone. Head for the quarry! Rolling out! Rolling! My favorite quarry! Avalanche! Ha! Yes! No hard feelings. Sure. I gather no loss. Rock on! Forward! You got it. You got it. Rolling! Head for the quarry! No. Rock on! Tiny coming in! Forward! Rolling out! Put aside for now. A rolling stone. Right away. Yes. Lands, I gather no loss. Sure. Going. Of course. Of course. under attack. Going. Better saved for later. Forward. I'll get 'em. Yes. Rolling. Tiny coming in. No deposit, no return. A rolling stone. I gather no. Rolling out. You haven't got the stone. You get nothing. Right away. Going. Smack them. A rolling stone. It will not take that. Forward. Get up. Yes. I guess. Right away. Rolling.
Messing top.
Head for the quarry. I gather no loss. Better saved for later. Stone. Tiny coming in. Rolling out. Rock on. Sure. You got it. A rolling stone. Hard luck. I gather no loss. Forward. Rolling out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
No go for you. Rock on.
Messing top.
Rolling. Rock'em, sock'em. Tiny coming in. Going. Head
Messing
for the
top.
quarry. Put aside for now. No matter. Regeneration. Of course. Rock on.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Rolling out. Tiny coming in. We'll settle. Yeah. I'm not dead. Going. Into the vault. What have we here? A rolling stone. I gather no loss.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Head for the quarry.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Of course. Forward. Sure. You got it. Rolling. Right away. Put aside for now. Tiny coming in. I gather no loss. Rock on. Head for the quarry. A rolling stone. Rock you. Of course. Right away. Rolling. You got it. Rolling. Going.
I'll do better next time.
Sure. Going. Tiny coming in. Forward. I gather no loss. Rolling. Right away. Better set
Your top tower is under attack.
Yes.
Dire structures are fortified.
Sure.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Head for the quarry.
Your top tower is under attack.
You got it. Double rubber. Rolling out. It's not fun.
Your top tower is under attack.
A rolling stone.
Your top tower is under attack.
Of course.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I gather no loss.
Your top tower has been denied.
Head for the quarry. Rolling. Sure. Tiny coming in.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
A rolling stone. Rolling out. Of course. Rock on. Yes.
My favorite customer.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Rolling. You got it.
Your middle tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Coming in. Hard feelings. I gather no loss. Right away. Forward. Not yet. Of course.
Invisibility!
Don't carve my headstone yet. Oh! Yes. Rolling out. Sure. A rolling stone. Not yet. Head for the quarry.
Your middle tower is under attack.
You got it. Of course.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yes.
The enemy's bottom tower has been denied.
Tiny, coming in. I'm under attack. Knock you back, stone it. Rolling. Head for the quarry.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Here's a carbon footprint for you. Sure.
Your middle tower is under attack.
A rolling stone. I gather no loss. Put us quick stone. Going. Right away.
Your middle tower has been denied.
Rolling. Forward. Going. Rolling out. It's not time. A rolling stone. Yes. It's not time yet. Sure. Not yet. I'm not ready. Tiny, coming in. Forward. I'm not ready. Rock on. It's not time yet.
Amateur.
Head for the quarry.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Between a rock and a dead place. Head for the quarry. You're not such a crack shot, sniper. Tiny, coming in. I got rolling. It's not time yet.
Radiant's courier has been killed. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Going. As abrasive as sandstone. I'm not ready. A rolling stone. Attack. Get him. Gee, thanks. You got it. I gather no loss. A rolling stone. Tiny, coming in. It's not time. Going. I'm not ready. Yes. No, take that. Right away. Of course.
structures are fortified.
Forward. You got it. I'm not ready. Yes. Sure. I got Rock'em Sock'em. Rolling. Rock on. Rolling out. Unstoppable. Just fell off. Rolling through. Go.
I thought they warned you not to
It's
speak
not
with
fun.
hunters.
Tiny coming in. Head for the quarry. Sure. It's not time yet. Forward. I gather no. You got it. I just mantled. Rock on. Rolling.
It was worth it.
There you go.
Right away.
Your middle tower is under attack.
A rolling stone. It's not time yet! Head for the quarry! Not yet! Of course. I got no problem. You got it. I'm not ready! Tiny, coming in!
Radiant structures are fortified.
Going! Smash them!
Haste! Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
A rolling stone! It's not true! Rolling up! Rock on! Sure! Yes! Not yet. It's not time yet. Tiny smash. Not yet. Rolling. I'm not ready. My capstone. Rock on. Forward. A rolling stone. Sure. Yes. Rolling up.
Silence afflicts me.
Head for the quarry.
Where are you going?
Your top tower is under attack.
Going.
Your top tower is under attack. Illusion!
Triple kill.
Your middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
You're a sentimental favorite.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. The enemy's top tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Not yet! It's not time yet! Head for the quarry! The rolling stone. Yes.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
Right away. Crush him. Going. Right away. I'm not ready. Going. It's hard to be this close. Tiny, coming in.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
A rolling stone. No deposit, no return. Sure. Unstoppable.
Don't mind if I do.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
Head for the quarry! I'm not ready. Yes. Going. I'm not ready. Rock on. Sure. A rolling stone. Head for the quarry.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
No. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. Right away. Of course. Rolling. I'm under attack. Enemy coming in.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I never know. Right away. Sure. Rolling. Of course. Head for the quarry. Enemy coming in. Going. Rolling out. It's not fun. I'm not ready. Sure. A rolling stone. Rolling out. Rock on. I never know. Of course. Tiny coming in. Head for the quarry. Well, look at that. Right away. Rolling. Forward. Going. Yes. You got it. I gather no more. Forward. Not yet. Going. Tiny coming in. Yes. I lost my capstone. Head for the quarry. Of course. A rolling stone. We've a quarry to settle. Invisibility! Rolling out. Rolling.
Dire structures top tower has
less
fallen.
enemy down.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Where are you going?
Your bottom tower is under attack. The enemy's top tower has fallen. Your bottom barracks are under attack. Your bottom barracks has fallen. The enemy's top barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen.
War and winter travel.
Your middle tower has fallen. Your ancient is under attack. Radiant victory.